I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's poppin', my bros? What's good? Another full card UFC breakdown and predictions video to make. This one's going to be Jessica Andrade taking on Erin Blanchfield in the main event, and some decent fights underneath that main event. As always, we jump into my bets from last week, then we jump into the MoneyCity comments, starting with my bets. It's another clean sweep. Loma looked boon me with the over 1.5 in the main event. That was one of my tickets. Then we had Jamie Malarkey TKO or decision, Jack Jenkins TKO or decision, and the final one was Clayton Rodriguez TKO or decision. So yeah, clean sweep, and the Korean card was also a clean sweep, and the card before that was 3-1. So 10 out of 11 on my last 11 bets. Moving into the MoneyCity champions, the champions, let's go. Hey, District's gone back to back to back. That's kind of like me with my bets. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of like me. Loma, Klidson, Jack Dalla, pure money. Then we've got Phantom Smeagol who said JDM, Yair Rodriguez, Islam Makhachev with the 3-piece parlay, pure money. Randy Savage said Loma look boom me, easy as that. Then we've got Joel or 23, oh, Yair is a lock. That's it. That's it, that's money. DM said Yair, Madalena Menefield, Malarkey, pure money. Real Basic with the money, Loma, Madalena KO, Jenkins, Islam, that's money. My brother the chef, cooking them up. Yair Rodriguez, Klidson, Loma, Islam, pure money. Garapolo said Islam, Loma, Yair Rodriguez, it's pure money. Then we've got Braden McAllister, kinda lucky with the Jimmy Crute fight being a draw, but Jack Jenkins and JDM, pure money. Alright, let's break them down, let's go. Alright guys, moving into the first matchup on this card, we've got Juancamilo Ronderos taking on Clayton Carpenter. Now my prediction with this matchup, I'm quite confident with my prediction. I'm going to side with Clayton Carpenter to win this fight. And the reasons why I'm going to do that, if you look at the kicking ability of Clayton, his kicks are good. Like, they're really, really good. And even one of my Discord members, I forgot the name now, but I was having a conversation with a few of the boys about these fights. And someone told me that, I think it was Lucky Bets. Yeah, someone told me that Clayton Carpenter trains with Kyler Phillips and Sean O'Malley, which kind of makes sense when you look at how good his kicks are, considering Kyler and Sean are both really, really good kickers. So yeah, I like the striking work of Clayton compared to Ronderos, and I also like his grappling work compared to Ronderos. You know, you look at Clayton on the Contender Series, that matchup was quite a difficult matchup, you know, but he still found success with his grappling, his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu, his ground and pound. And guys, remember, Juancamilo Ronderos did get submitted in his UFC debut by a one-arm rear naked choke. If you're getting one arm rear naked choked and it's not against Damian Maia, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to take Clayton Carpenter to win this matchup. So that's my first prediction. Let's go. Now guys, moving into a matchup between AJ Fletcher taking on Themba Gorimbo. I believe it's the pronunciation, might have butchered it. Now with this matchup, you know, AJ Fletcher does need to win this fight because he's 0-2 inside the UFC. And although you can look at those two matchups for AJ Fletcher, you know, you look at those fights, you can see there's positives within those performances. Although you can do that, you do still realize that mixed martial arts or being inside the UFC is a results-based business. You know what I'm saying? You need results. So AJ Fletcher 0-2. He does need to win this matchup. And yeah, like I say, there's positives, right? You look at the grappling work of AJ in both of those fights. His grappling's good. You also look at a few moments where his striking's good. You know, trains with Dustin Poirier. The boxing looks okay at times for AJ Fletcher. But yeah, the real thing about AJ is going to be his grappling ability. You know, the wrestling, the way he gets the fight to the mat, and just his work on the mat. Now guys, the opponent, Themba Gorimbo. This guy, I'm looking at the tape. Right, I look at the tape and I see the takedown defense is not good, right? And if your takedown defense is not good, I see AJ Fletcher getting you to the mat. Guys, not only is the takedown defense not good, but his work on the mat, you know, when you put him on his back, he looks like a fish out of water. You know what I'm saying? The work is not good. Now, if he can end up on top with a takedown, he seems to be okay. But if you can end up on top, Themba Gorimbo kind of looks clueless You know, he can't work back to the feet. He's not sweeping. He just looks clueless. You know, if Themba Gorimbo's going to win, maybe it's like a TKO stoppage on the feet. But I doubt it. I really doubt it. AJ Fletcher should win this matchup. I believe he's going to win this matchup. Themba Gorimbo, the grappling work doesn't look as good as the grappling work of AJ Fletcher. And because of that, I'm going to say that AJ Fletcher finds a submission, a rear naked choke at some point, maybe in the first 10 minutes. So yeah, submission stoppage for AJ Fletcher to get his first UFC win. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between OSP taking on Phillipe Lins. Now this is a bit of a weird matchup because Phillipe Lins has loads of cancellations on his resume. And OSP is like quite old now, you know, not as good, not in his prime anymore. Now guys, thinking about the matchup, like what OSP is going to do compared to what Phillipe Lins is going to do and trying to make a prediction based off that. I think in round 1, OSP is going to have good timing. You know, Phillipe Lins might try to close the distance and OSP's putting a teep in the way. Or even a few good calf kicks. You know, obviously OSP's got the OSP choke, which is the Von Flue choke. But if he doesn't get Phillipe Lins to the mat, it's going to be a striking contest. Now, in round 1, I think OSP can do well. You know, like I said, Phillipe Lins tries to close the distance. OSP's putting the teep, the low kick. His timing looks good. But as we move into the second round, that's where I think things are going to change. You know, I kind of see Phillipe Lins being able to close the distance and finding some good success with the boxing combinations. Essentially, I think OSP is going to look good for about 5 minutes. Then he's going to start to get hit. He's going to be stationary. He's going to be pressed against the fence, eating shots. And I kind of see Phillipe Lins getting a TKO stoppage. Maybe round 1 it doesn't look like that, but as OSP starts to slow down, that's where I see Phillipe Lins kind of turning the tide. Now guys, would I advise to put your money on Phillipe Lins considering there's loads of cancellations on his resume? Probably not. But as far as the breakdown with this matchup, I think OSP starts well, then I think he gets dusted. So yeah guys, my official prediction is going to be Phillipe Lins to win via TKO in round number 2. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Jamal Emmers taking on Khusein Askhabov, I believe is the pronunciation. Now guys, looking at the records, you see that Khusein is Russian, you see that he's undefeated. You kind of want to just make that pick straight away. Boom, I'm picking the Russian. But then you notice that Khusein hasn't fought in like 3 years. Why is that? Why is that? You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit weird. Not fought in 3 years. What's up with that? However guys, just to counter that red flag, Jamal Emmers did get his knee snapped by Pat Sabatini. And anytime your knee gets snapped, you know what I'm saying, it's not easy to come back from. That's a serious injury. And also looking at the competition that Khusein has fought against, the competition's not been great. It's not been like UFC caliber. So guys, it would be fair to say that Khusein hasn't been tested at the highest level as of yet. But he's going to be now. He's going to be. But yeah, skill for skill, guys, it would be fair to say that Khusein's kicking ability is very good. His grappling ability is very good. You know, there's kind of a couple red flags on both sides. Jamal Emmers with the snapped knee. Yeah, compared to Khusein's 3-year layoff. Who do you want to pick? For me, I'm going to side with the Russian, 23-0. Jamal Emmers doesn't put a stop to this winning streak. If he does, all the credit, but yeah, I'm siding with Khusein Askhabov. Alright, next matchup, we've got Lina Lansberg taking on Mayra Bueno Silva. The prediction's gotta be Mayra Bueno Silva to win this matchup. And the reason why we're gonna make that prediction, she's younger than Lina Lansberg. She's quicker. She's a better kicker. She's a better boxer. She's a better grappler. You know, there's multiple reasons why we're going to pick Mayra Bueno Silva to win this fight. Lina Lansberg should probably just retire. Like, if you guys said to me, how does Lina win this matchup? Like, if she was going to win, how would she win this matchup? Like, honestly, the only real way I see Lina Lansberg winning this fight is, like, pushing Mayra against the fence and just stalling. Like, if you get to the end of round 1 with this matchup and you're thinking, not a lot happened in that round, you know, Lina just pushed her against the fence, not a lot going on. That's how she can win the fight. You know, she's got to make it boring, ugly, you know, just a horrible matchup. And that way Lina can like skate away with a split decision win. But I highly doubt that's going to happen with this matchup. Mayra Bueno Silva so much better than Lina Lansberg. I know Lina's got like good experience, but it's not going to make up for the speed disadvantage. It's not going to make up for the boxing disadvantage. It's not going to make up for the kicking disadvantage. I see so many ways for Mayra Bueno Silva to win this fight. Better kicker, better jiu-jitsu, better punching, better boxing, better so many things. You know what I'm saying? Mayra Bueno Silva is going to win this matchup. She's so powerful. Mayra Bueno Silva is the prediction with this matchup. Alright, moving into a matchup between Nazim Sadykhov taking on Evan Elder. My prediction with this matchup is going to be Nazim Sadykhov to win this fight. I think his boxing is very, very clean. It's super sharp. You know, if you go back and look at Nazim's fights on UFC Fight Pass, you'll notice that a lot of his opponents try to push him against the fence. And the reason for that is purely because when you look at the guy's striking, you think, hey, no way I'm going to match this. You know what I'm saying? You try to make the fight ugly. You push him against the fence. And that's kind of what I see Evan Elder trying to do in this matchup. I think he's going to realise he's at a big striking disadvantage. And then he's going to try to initiate the grappling. Now, guys, respect to Evan Elder because he did debut at 170. Right, and now he's dropping back down to 155. But like I said, I do believe Evan Elder is going to be at a striking disadvantage with this matchup. Nazim Sadykhov looks clean, looks technical, looks accurate, and I think he's going to just pick his shots. You know, might even TKO Evan Elder if this fight stays on the feet. And guys, if you're Nazim Sadykhov, you're realizing like all of your opponents are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to push me against the fence. They're trying to grapple. At this point, he's going to be used to having to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So he's already probably going to anticipate that Evan's going to push him against the fence. So yeah, guys, my prediction's got to be who I believe is going to be the better striker in this matchup. And I think Nazim Sadykhov's actually going to TKO Evan Elder at some point in this fight. So yeah, the prediction's going to be Nazim Sadykhov. Round 2, round 3. Moving into Jim Miller taking on Alexander Hernandez. Now you've got veteran versus wrestler. Alexander Hernandez is a wrestler. He's also very explosive on the feet. You know, that's something we did learn about Hernandez very quickly, you know, in his UFC debut against Beneil Dariush. Bang. Dusted. So yeah, Alexander Hernandez, good wrestler, very explosive striking. Jim Miller on the flip side, veteran, black belt in BJJ, knows how to do it all. You know, been here for a long time. Now guys, the thing with Alexander Hernandez, if you look at his career, you know, he got dusted by Donald Cerrone, he got dusted by Drew Dober. Terrible performance against Thiago Moises, dusted by Moicano, dusted by Billy Quarantillo. Against Francisco Trinaldo, he won that fight, but a lot of us just disappointed in that performance. So guys, it's going to be fair to say that for most of Alexander Hernandez's UFC career, it's kind of been disappointing. But at the very same time, you know, this guy debuted against Beneil Dariush. You know what I'm saying? Had a good performance, and from there, he didn't get given an easy matchup. You know, he was thrown to the wolves straight away. And guys, think about it, like Drew Dober's a good competitor. Renato Moicano's good. Billy Q is good. Thiago Moises, you know, improved Muay Thai. Good BJJ. These are all good losses. Obviously, you don't want to lose any matchup. Like, that's not something you're looking to do. That's not what Alexander's trying to do, but it happens at the highest level. I think there's still going to be some positives in some of these losses for Hernandez, you know, specifically Billy Q, you know, that last fight. He looked good. Round 1 looked very good. I think one of the weaknesses for Hernandez would be like his cardio's not the best. You know, he kind of fatigues in the middle of the fight and starts to get teed off on. But guys, against Jim Miller, this is not Renato Moicano. This is not Billy Q. This is not Drew Dober. This is not Donald Cerrone. It's not Moises. You know what I'm saying? It's none of these guys. Jim Miller doesn't typically have good cardio. You know, his cardio's not great at this point in his UFC career. And Jim Miller, if you look at the tape, he's not as quick as Alexander Hernandez. Like the hand speed, the kicking speed, it's nowhere near as quick as Hernandez. So guys, when I think about Jim Miller and Alexander Hernandez getting inside the octagon to compete, I do believe Hernandez is going to win this matchup. You know, he's younger, he's quicker. He's physically strong. He's a good wrestler. And I don't think Jim Miller can expose any of the weaknesses of Alexander Hernandez. You know, Jim Miller's not got better cardio. Jim Miller's not a dog like Billy Q. Jim Miller's not gonna, you know, butcher you on the feet the way Moicano could. Guys, when I think about this matchup, I kind of think of like Vince Pichel against Jim Miller. You know what I'm saying? I see Alexander Hernandez just being fresher, younger, stronger, good wrestling. I see Hernandez winning this matchup. My pick is Alexander to win this matchup. If you waited to smoke with me, amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, double amen. If you're not a smoker but you enjoy the smoke breaks, that's always been a triple amen, gang. Let's go. Now guys, two things. If you want my bets on this card, the only way to do that is to join my Patreon. The second thing, if you want my quick pick predictions on Saturday night, follow my Instagram. So far this year, I've made 15 bets and I've hit 12 out of 15, which is pretty good. And my last 11 bets, I've hit 10 out of 11, which is, again, is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Now guys, the question on the smoke break is gonna be a question that probably shouldn't ask this question because there could be some arguments in the comment section, but my question is very simple. Who won the main event between Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski? You know, some people are kinda, I don't want to say stupid, but some people are kind of stupid. You know, they'll look at a fighter at the end of the fight and be like, oh, Islam Makhachev's got a black eye, he lost this fight. And really, to score a fight, you've got to watch round 1, score round 1, then watch round 2, score round 2, watch round 3, score. You see what I'm saying? You've got to watch each individual round. Then obviously if it goes 25 minutes, you can find your score. And some people don't do that, they just watch the fight. And at the end of the fight, they're like, oh, Islam's got a black eye, Islam lost. To score a fight, you got to watch each round and score the round. So yeah guys, how did you score round 1? How did you score round 2? How did you score each round in this main event? Alright, let's get into breaking down the main card. Moving into a matchup between William Knight taking on Marcin Prachnio. This matchup, I kind of feel confident that Marcin is going to win this fight. And I really shouldn't be confident because Marcin Prachnio, this guy's chin is kind of dusty. And if you can land clean on Marcin, you're going to get a TKO stoppage. And William Knight is very, very explosive. So I'm not sure why I'm confident, but yeah, William Knight he just kind of looks like a bodybuilder. This guy's just a bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? Look at the guy's frame. There's muscle everywhere. And that obviously makes him very strong. You know, he's a very strong guy, but the output is not good. You know, obviously when you're competing in mixed martial arts, you need to do a lot of running. You know what I'm saying? You need good cardio, you need to run. I don't think William Knight does a lot of running. Look at his frame. There's muscle everywhere. Obviously a lot of running, you know, you're gonna burn off that muscle. You know what I'm saying? But William Knight just has an excessive amount of muscle. So I kind of question his training. You know, what kind of training is William Knight doing? Just seems like a very explosive guy. You know, he can fire the calf kick. He's explosive. He's strong. But yeah, mixed martial arts, I'm not sure this is the best way to compete. Now on the flip side, Marcin Prachnio, this guy's a very good kicker. Like, his weakness, like I said, is his chin is very bad, but the kicking's very good. You know, you look at the way he completely dusted IK Villanueva with that body kick. You know what I'm saying? Marcin Prachnio, this dude can kick. And I think if he keeps William Knight at kicking distance, you know, looks to rack up the kicks, looks to just beat William Knight based on output, I think he can win this matchup as an underdog. I'm going to make this prediction more based on, like, picking against William Knight rather than picking for Marcin Prachnio, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to pick William Knight just to pick against Marcin. You know, it's one of those matchups. Who are you going to pick? Who are you more impressed with? I'm more impressed with Marcin Prachnio, even though I'm not really impressed. So yeah guys, I'm going to side with Marcin Prachnio to keep William Knight at kicking distance and to win this fight based on output. Alright guys, moving into a heavyweight matchup, we've got Josh Parisian taking on Jamall Pogues. Now we just predicted Justin Tafa taking on Parker Porter, which you could say is a low-level heavyweight matchup. We've got another one on our hands, and picking low-level heavyweights is kind of difficult. You know what I'm saying guys? To find consistency in low-level heavyweight matchups is difficult, but looking at this matchup, I do believe Jamall Pogues is going to win this fight. I was looking at tape on Jamall Pogues, and his first Contender Series fight, his hands were sharp. and he got like 7 takedowns in that fight. But he also got very tired in that first Contender Series matchup. Now guys, Jamal Pogues did come back to the Contender Series and he didn't really fight the same way. He didn't look for takedowns in this matchup. And to be honest, he didn't really get tired the same way he did on the first Contender Series fight. This was a very different performance. Now guys, the main weakness for Jamal Pogues on the most recent Contender Series performance, the main weakness was he absorbed many low kicks. However guys, as we know, styles do make fights, and I don't really see Josh Parisian causing the same type of problems with the low kick. What I really see with this fight is mainly a boxing striking matchup, mainly boxing. You could think about Josh Parisian trying to get Pogues to the mat, or you could think about Pogues even taking Josh Parisian to the mat, but for the most part I do see a striking matchup. Now guys, if I'm right with my prediction on this matchup that we're going to get mainly a boxing matchup, I would have to side with Jamal Pogues, considering he's a much better boxer in my opinion. Like, his hands are so much sharper. You know guys, just go back and look at UFC Fight Pass tape. You can see the boxing of Josh Parisian, it's not too good. Whereas when you look at the boxing of Jamal Pogues, you can see sharpness. You know what I'm saying? The 1-2, the 1 is sharp. So my prediction is going to be Jamal Pogues to actually TKO Josh Parisian in round number 1. Alright guys, moving into the co-main event, we've got Jordan Wright taking on Zach Pauga. And I'm going to make a prediction that most people are probably going to disagree with. And guys, I'm kind of shocking myself with this prediction because I've never picked Jordan Wright to actually win a fight in the UFC. I've never done that. But I am going to pick Jordan Wright to win this co-main event against Zach Pauga. Now guys, some people will look at a UFC card and be like, oh, Jordan Wright's on this card, Jordan Wright sucks, I'm gonna pick against Jordan Wright. But for me, like, I don't really do that. You know, I don't really look at a UFC card and be like, oh, this guy sucks, I'm pick against him. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do that. For me guys, I always go back and rewatch tape. You know, always rewatch tape and look at the styles of both of the fighters. Now guys, there's a reason why Jordan Wright is a big underdog. Right, there's weaknesses in his game. One of the main weaknesses being his chin. His chin is really dusty. So guys, if Zach Pauga can just land a clean shot, he probably TKOs Jordan Wright. But guys, thinking about ways that Jordan Wright could win this matchup, he's got to maintain the kicking distance. You know, you can't get into the pocket with Zach Pauga. You know, Jordan Wright's got some really good kicks. And that's probably like the only real good thing about Jordan Wright's game is his kicking ability is very good. If your kicking ability is very good, then look to use that. You know, don't get into the pocket with Zach Pauga. Don't look to trade. You know, maintain the kicking distance. And that's the only real way that I see Jordan Wright being able to beat Zach Pauga. You know, you've got to use good footwork. You've got to use speed. You've got to maintain the distance. And those are the 3 things that Jordan Wright's got to do to win this matchup. Footwork, speed, kicking distance. Now, if Jordan Wright thinks he's going to get into the pocket and look to do some damage with his hands in the pocket, then he's going to sleep. He's going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, styles make fights. I believe the stylistic matchup we have is Zach Pauga is a much better boxer than Jordan Wright. But I think Jordan Wright's a much better kicker than Zach Pauga. So if you've got a better boxer versus a better kicker, the boxer wants to be in boxing range. You know, he wants to be in the pocket. And on the flip side, the kicker should look to utilise their kicks. But the only way to utilise your kicks is to have the space to kick. You've got to maintain the kicking distance. So for me, I'm going to side with the big underdog, Jordan Wright. I think a lot of people are going to count him out in this matchup. And maybe I'm wrong to give him a shot. But I think if Jordan Wright fights the right fight, which is going to be kicking distance, maintain the kicking distance, use your speed, use your footwork to maintain the distance. If Jordan Wright can do these 3 things, I think he could upset Zach Pauga. So that's going to be my pick. Like I said, it's the first time I'm picking Jordan Wright to win a fight. So yeah, kind of surprised I'm making this pick. But yeah, I'm going to side with the underdog, Jordan Wright, to win this co-main event. Alright guys, moving into the main event, we've got Jessica Andrade taking on Erin Blanchfield. This is a good main event. Now guys, to start the breakdown on this main event, let's first speak about Jessica Andrade and what she's really good at doing. I think it's fair to say that Jessica Andrade is an absolute beast. Like, this girl she's unbelievable. Like, her boxing is seriously damaging. I think it's also fair to say that Jessica Andrade has a big experience difference. You know, she's fought against killers. So those are going to be two things that we put towards Jessica Andrade in this matchup. You know, her striking is much better than Erin's, and she's got way more experience. Now guys, on the flip side, looking at Erin Blanchfield, she's much different to Jessica Andrade. You know, she's not a striker. When you look at the game of Erin Blanchfield, she's showing you like, look, I'm a grappler. And her grappling is very, very good. You know, the moment I realised that Erin Blanchfield is very good was when she fought against Miranda Maverick. When she out-grappled Miranda Maverick. That was really surprising to me because I regard Miranda Maverick as like a really, really good prospect. And Erin Blanchfield went in there and she dominated her in the grappling, you know, even put her in the crucifix at times. Then you look at the work she displayed against Molly McCann, you know, the same thing. You know, took her to the mat and just domination, pure domination, dusteration. So guys, it's going to be fair to say that we've got a big clash of styles. We've got striker with Jessica Andrade against the grappler Erin Blanchfield, Erin Nurmagomedov. Now guys, one more thing to note that is very, very key with this main event. Jessica Andrade has not had a training camp. She's not prepared for this main event. So for me personally guys, I am going to lean slightly towards the underdog, Erin Nurmagomedov, Erin Blanchfield, to implement her grappling in this matchup. I really like the forward pressure that she displays on the feet too. Obviously her striking's not on the same level as Jessica Andrade, but she stays in your face. You know, she uses a lot of good pressure on the feet. And that forward pressure on the feet's not necessarily there to create problems on the feet. It's there to, you know, basically show the opponent, look, I'm going to stay in your face until I get that takedown. And guys, that's really what Khabib Nurmagomedov done too. You know, he used good forward pressure on the feet. You know, his striking on the feet was really standard, you know, 1s and 1-2s. But none of it was there to really hurt the opponent on the feet. It was there to keep the opponent backing up. And that's really what I see in the game of Erin Blanchfield. You know, I see good forward pressure, I see good cardio, I see unbelievable wrestling, unbelievable top control, unbelievable ground and pound, good jiu-jitsu. I see a killer in Erin Blanchfield, and I think she's going to snatch the lead leg of Jessica Andrade or even establish a body lock and take this fight to the mat. And once we're on the mat, you're going to really see just how good Erin Blanchfield really is. I think she's going to stop Jessica Andrade on the mat in this main event. I'm not entirely sure when that's going to be. It could be round 1, it could be round 2, it could be even later. But I do believe the underdog, Erin Blanchfield, is going to win this main event. Her grappling's too good, and I see it being the result against a killer in Jessica Andrade. Alright guys, that's all my predictions and breakdowns for this UFC card. When you look at the card on paper, it doesn't look too good. But once you go do some tape and really look into these matchups, I think it's going to overachieve like it normally does. Alright guys, eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. That's Mac Miller. Alright, peace.